But what about those shows that start out with some expectations and fail to live up to them? Let's talk about the most disappointing show.
I'm going to sigh one out for you.
Guys, and we can add to this list, we've got Infinity Force, Black Clover.
Oh my God.
Kino's Journey, King's Game, Juni Taisen, and Just Because.
Okay, I don't think Just Because is the biggest disappointment for anybody.
Yeah, I put that on basically out of respect to the fact that you liked the first 3 episodes.
I did like the first 3 episodes, but ultimately, you two didn't give a shit from the start. So, oh well.
So we can cut it, but I wanted to give it its due, if you can call it that, in this particular category.
Yeah, I mean, at least one of us was disappointed by it. So yeah. Let's start from the bottom, work our way up. What was the next one?
Juni Taisen.
Fuck!
This is getting to some personal disappointment shit.
This one was legitimately all around disappointing, and especially after watching the whole show. Because I'm like, oh, hey, look at all you cool stuff in the second half. Oh, are you good? No, but all this other good stuff, like, God. It's frustrating because they obviously, like, the writer of the original the original light novel had a bunch of cool ideas, but man, did he suck at telling them. God dang it.
I had negative expectations for that.
Yeah.
I was just like, I never liked it. I always thought it was butt.
And you know what? I had hope for it. Like maybe I think I understand where you were coming from, where I saw a bunch of stuff that in retrospect, it was just bad storytelling. Where at first I like subversion. That I am.
Yeah, so you're like, oh man, this could set up for something cool.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
No. See, I was riding its dick nice and hard because I was all like, look at all this subversion.
Yeah.
Look at all this setup and anticlimax for this cool scene. But it kept doing it.
Yeah, I just don't think you know how to write, buddy.
And then I realized what it was doing with the whole, like, in the order of the Zodiac. And I'm like, okay, so you've just thrown good storytelling out the window for your gimmick. Okay, we're done here.
Yep.
Like, I couldn't take it, and that, oh man, that was the biggest disappointment in realizing like all this really cool stuff was actually just dumb bullshit. Great.
I don't know. I remember at one point, relatively early on, episode 4 or something like that, saying, I realize I'm damning this show with faint praise when I say that the only reason I thought it was promising was that it was structurally competent in the beginning.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. No, and it was. Like, if you look at those
Yeah.
first couple of episodes, it actually is very structurally, like, it sets up for things, follows through on them, and very creative, like, in some creative manners. Like, let's be honest. When fucking the bird chick, when Rooster kills the dog, that's a cool scene.
That was a great scene.
Like,
I loved that.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like, I've got these great abilities, and now you do too. Now what you gonna do? Oh, God, boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, first, didn't see that coming. 2, that's creative as fuck. She used him to get the power, and she's actually psycho. Fantastic.
Let's put a question mark next to this one for now.
Sure.
And talk about, see what it's up against. King's Game.
Oh, I mean, nah.
I'm pretty much there too.
Yeah, I'm disappointed we didn't get another high, but I was never.
Yeah, the only reason it's on there is because I still think that on paper the concept could have been cool.
Could have been good, probably.
Final Destination and anime, give it to me.
But yeah,
wasn't goofy enough.
From pretty much the first scene of actually watching the show, it's like, oh no, turns out this is terrible.
Yeah.
It managed to give us some hope in the middle there, but
I remember watching it thinking like, man, this is the nicest class I've ever, like, they're all so friendly toward them. And then when things went the other way, I'm like, oh no, this is just terribly written. Okay.
Yeah. All right, taking it off the list.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kino's Journey. I don't know about this one.
I mean, it's personally disappointing.
It's disappointing for me. Dude, as somebody who heard so much about Kino's Journey, somebody who I like this idea.
Yeah.
I know.
I like this idea.
Yeah, I just think this execution really fucking flubbed it. I love the opening, everything it was doing. Like, I was on this show for a long time, and I might go back and watch it later, but I just feel like, in spite of itself, I was enjoying
And
it.
I like the first episode. I liked the first episode. I thought the first episode was chilling and such a good setup.
Yeah.
But no episode after that caught. Okay, except for the one with the girl.
The cloud one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one did a good job. But it was that in the first episode, and every other episode in between then is somewhere between okay and nope.
Yeah. I like the one with the mentor. That was another like highlight for me. That was pretty good. With the tower. I like the tower episode a lot.
That's definitely not a bad episode at all.
But man, it was really disappointing. That's what I might push for that, because the giving the fuck for that was the most disappointing, or the kill was the most disappointing thing I had to do, because in spite of everything, I wanted it to be great, and I was going to bat for it. I loved you like a brother, Kino. You were supposed to bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness.
You know what? I think I'm going to mark a keep next to Kino's journey. We can always change our minds, but
Sure.
but if nothing else, out of respect for, you did have such high hopes for it. And
I did.
Honestly, I kind of did too. Like,
I know. I could feel you going like, yeah, because I feel like the fun of it was talking with each other, and that was a fun time.
Yeah,
but
I
the
agree.
show just was not carrying. Carrying that. We were carrying that. The show was not.
I mean, for you guys, you two had a lot to talk about with it. Each
Yeah.
time I was just like, I didn't like it. I thought it, blah, blah. I was very negative. I didn't have much, because...
and I expected to be in that seat with this show, honestly.
Well, here's the thing. You two wanted to talk about the merits of its stories. I was like, I've seen this shit done better. Why are we talking about it? That was always where I was coming from with Kino's journey is, why are we talking about this story? It was badly told.
It's. I guess the reason I enjoyed it is because it's anime.
Yeah.
It's specifically the medium. You don't see that in anime.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I can get that. Like, it wasn't a real, like, why are you talking about it? It was more of a, like, I'm not going to be much help here because I can tell you
I understand.
Like, I could tell you why I think it didn't work.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, was Black Clover the most disappointing?
Oh, no. Not for me.
I mean...
Like, I said this earlier, but I'll repeat it. I think the problem here was that it turns out it was exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I just overestimated how much I wanted that. So I'm not sure if it is the most disappointing.
I can't tell if I was younger, if I could look past a lot of it. I can't. I don't know. I don't know if I could look past all of it and go, yeah, hell yeah, Black Clover. All about that.
Although, let's take a moment. Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball, those are all shonen, right?
Yeah.
Those are all classic shonen. What you were looking for wasn't a bad show. What you were looking for was something that could capture your heart, something that could make you believe, something that could entertain you and bring out that inner child. You needed your shonen jump, but you didn't get that.
I mean, here's the thing, though. If Dragon Ball Z was a brand new show today in 2018, the anime, specifically the anime, and you put it in front of me, I probably would not like it. Because I'm a 35-year-old man.
Yeah.
There are only so many hours in the day, and I cannot abide having them wasted. And traditionally structured shonen wastes your goddamn time. That is not something new.
Yeah.
But you know what is also traditionally structured shonen? My Hero.
No, it is
No,
not.
it's not.
Really? You don't think so?
No. It is, in terms of storytelling, like, yeah, sure.
Oh,
But-
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, see, when I'm talking about traditionally structured, I mean in the sense of padded with filler. With, yeah,
that's what you
traditionally
meant.
paced.
Oh, fuck,
Yeah.
no. Like,
Yeah.
we can't watch One Piece nowadays.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's good because Black Clover is essentially looking to be that. And I
Okay.
think if we had a season of it, maybe it could be different.
That's what you meant.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, to that regard,
Yeah, structured in the way it adapts the source material in the most stretched out way possible. Ain't nobody got time for that in 2018.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. And I pray to God that these companies start to realize that, because I can't watch Boruto. And that's not even adapting anything.
Yeah. I don't know. People got too much shit to do.
Yep.
There's so much stuff everywhere.
Man, by the way, I'm sad we can't talk about Boruto this season because for some reason, when I was in the shower this morning, I was just going through everything I dislike about Boruto and everything I do like about Boruto, and I was like, God, I need to talk about this with somebody.
Grant watches it. He talked to you about it.
Then I need
he's up to date.
I need to get down with Grant.
Yeah,
because,
no, he'll
like,
talk about it.
man.
I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't.
Boruto is so perplexing. But yeah, no.
Black Clover disappointing. I wouldn't say so. I think I will honestly go with what you said. It's exactly what it was going to be.
Yeah. No, it's worse than that.
It is worse
actually,
than that. It is worse. I will agree.
I mean, it didn't have to be this slow. It didn't have to be less than a chapter an episode slow.
Yeah, like here's the thing. Let's take it like a traditional shonen. They still would have started with 2 chapters per episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is not. Here's the worst part. This isn't structured like a traditional shonen series. And it is not even structured because this is actually 52 episodes. This isn't a week to week. They didn't have to do this.
But it is structured in that same style, though, what they're doing.
I mean, in terms of season, though, they didn't need to do this.
No.
That's the worst part. They didn't need to. They didn't need to. But they did it anyway.
What else is on the list?
So just Infinity Force. And here's the thing, like I had expectations for it. I'm not sure how reasonable they ever were.
I want to go with that too.
But that said, all I wanted it to do was be a fun, dumb action show.
And how hard is that?
And introduce me to some characters that I'm predisposed to like because they have cool designs, and I know that other people like them, so I want to like them too.
Right.
And here's the thing, like, yeah, maybe my expectations were only mediocre to begin with, but it failed so completely to be any kind of competent anything. I don't know. I think this might belong on the list. I think it might be Kino's Journey Infinity Force.
Man, Infinity Force. God damn it.
They were, you know what, I think Kino's Journey is disappointing.
Yeah, because we had high expectations, and
it's there. There are parts where it's great.
Yeah.
But it's just not consistent enough to carry it.
Wait, was Garo on that list?
It was not. You want to talk about Garo?
Well, I mean, we've talked about why Garo failed plenty of times in this video.
Yeah.
So, like, let's just put Garo out there. Garo was disappointing as crap for me.
Yeah.
Like, it was a show that I was really getting into that had a lot of great, like, little action moments. But at the end of the day, it was just too bland for its own good. And, yeah. Sorry, Garo. You were a big disappointment for me. Not as big as Juni Taisen, and probably not as big as Kino's Journey and Infinity Force. Personally, I'd put Infinity Force above Kino's Journey just because, god damn it, this is Tatsunoko with a whole show crossover, and it bungled it in the worst possible way. Like, there is no worse show on this list in terms of possibility to actual outcome. Like, the gap there is tremendous.
You know, when you put it that way, I would not be sad to see Infinity Force win this category.
But in regard, Kino's Journey also had a huge potential with a great light novel series that just got bungled in its adaptation.
I mean, that being said, Kino's Journey delivered us
a
couple of really good episodes.
It did. So, like, and that's the thing that I might have trouble calling it a disappointment in that regard, because it's disappointing that it's not great.
Yeah.
I think it's like passable for me. I would not like say, I don't know. I tell people, like, if you want to see Kino's Journey, watch the original. But if you happen to watch the other ones, I wouldn't tell you to not watch it.
Yeah.
If you're watching Infinity Force, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Turn that garbage off.
Although I would say watch the original Kino's Journey first.
Yeah, that's what I would say too.
All right, then, Infinity Force.
I would say Infinity Force, Kino's Journey.
Okay.
Most disappointing. Winner, a rotting, maggot-infested chicken dinner to Infinity Force. Runner-up, Kino's Journey.
How many more categories do we have?
We have to start going through these a little quicker. I'm hungry.
Okay, I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Peace.
And we're back.
Hello.
Hungry boys together.
We have been recording all day long.
Ooh, man.
I ate breakfast at 9. I am starving.
I went to bed at 7 a.m.
Yeah. I have not eaten lunch either.
I've eaten a protein bar.
Guys, we will know next time that the Fuck Buddies is an entire day of recording.
Yeah, pretty much.
In and of itself. But let's not belabor that anymore. Let's talk about what tugged your heartstrings.
What tugged
Yes.
my heartstrings?
Yep.
What you got?
We got Inuyashiki, Ancient Magus Bride, and Garo Vanishing Line, which I included only so I could pay respects to episode 6, the one with the deer, that we talk about how we cried like little bitches watching this or that. I did not literally physically cry this season, but I came the closest in that episode. Again, for very personal reasons. Dealing with loss and grief near and dear to my heart right now.
Yeah.
That said, we're not talking about most heartstring tuggingest moments. We're talking about series in toto. So I'm going to cut that right now because that does not hang. But I wanted to give it its props. Is there anything else that should be on this list?
Nah.
Nah.
I don't think so.
No.
Huh.
Well, wait.
Honestly.
MMO junkie?
I mean, I could see an argument.
I mean,
I don't think it hangs in the top 2, but if we want to give it its due real quick.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of moments in
Yeah,
that show.
there
where
was
I was like,
a lot of adorable moments.
yeah, that whole last episode on its own just
I was
so
on the edge of my seat
much.
the whole time, like,
The noises, I made the fucking dumbest
Right.
noises that whole episode. I sometimes I get a little bit like, yeah, all right, when someone's like inhuman noises or like screeching, and I'm like, no, I was like, the whole fucking time.
yeah.
So yeah, it
Yeah.
had some very emotional moments, some stuff that really hit home for me. I wouldn't put it in my top 2 either, but shout out to MMO Junkie for having some real emotional scenes.
I think it was more like, I mean, it was A, adorable, and B, relatable. I think those are like good, necessary, awesome things. I don't think they quite are what this category is about necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that I was emotional so much as, yeah.
It's a feel-good show.
It is a
Yeah.
feel-good show.
Yeah, if we had to
absolutely.
choose-
It
like-
evoked emotions of happiness.
Yeah.
frequently, which was good.
Yeah, no, it's a feel-good through and through, and I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then really it all comes down to which takes the first place.
Yep.
Is it Inuyashiki or is it Ancient Magus Bride? I'm going to posit Ancient Magus Bride.
Make your argument,
Yeah,
good
please,
sir. State your case.
Inuyashiki has the more emotional moments, but they're kind of placed strategically throughout the show. For me, Magus Bride, it's kind of an emotional roller coaster all throughout it. For me, the development of Chisei, her relationship with other people, for me, I see like a bigger resonance there from episode to episode, and its big emotional moments are also huge. They're swelling, whereas the emotional moments in Inuyashiki are stark and hit you hard, like the scene with the cats, or the scene with his daughter. Those emotional moments are just these like very frank, like, oh shit. Where the emotional moments in Magus Bride, again, are these big, huge moments, these movements, really. And I just love them. Like, they're beautiful to me. They are told through great storytelling and visuals. And this is coming from the guy who, I love Inuyashiki, trust me. All about its emotional moments. It has the most emotional moment of the season for me with the fucking cats. But overall, I would give it to Ancient Magus Bride.
I could not stop crying after the end of Inuyashiki.
And that's fair.
Like, I had trouble like composing myself after I saw that. Like, the thing about, they're both fantastic. This
Yeah.
is like choosing my favorite kid.
Oh yeah, no,
Like-
no. This is an actual Sophie's choice. Though actually, we got rid of Sophie. So.
This is like, honestly, I'm not going to be upset about which one goes because they both so profoundly resonated with, I think, all of us here. for me, Inuyashiki is what the world needs right now.
Yeah.
And I think the message and everything that it really, because when it put me down, like if you want to talk about a roller coaster, Inuyashiki I felt was a bit more roller coastery than Magus, because Magus doesn't go down. Magus builds up, which is great. I love that.
Magus did go down once or twice.
It did. Yes, it did. But Inuyashiki goes way down, man.
No.
Like, if you want to talk about pulling heartstrings, Inuyashiki has one moment, you're down here. The next moment, nah, man, let's go. I'm an old Jesus man. Let's pull your ass back up. And that is what gets me the most. Something that can both put me in a terrible space and bring me out in the same episode.
No,
it's fascinating. To me.
That is definitely true. And
Like that's why I would push for Inuyashiki, is because I would just go for the dynamic range that it can do. Magus, though, I will totally give you, when it at its best, I still think the finale, season 3, fucking the cats, the Ruth familiar, all this shit, the song Lyndall sings, all these moments are just these soaring crescendos of beauty, both in audio, visual, everything, how they function in the story, all amazing.
But very rarely does it go down.
Yeah, it doesn't go down, and I think that's what leads me to go with Inuyashiki, because if you want to talk about feeling shit, this made me feel scared. It made me feel hope, joy, laughter, tear, every human emotion in 11 episodes.
Yeah.
I'd be hard pressed to give up Inuyashiki the more I think about it.
Yeah, I have to agree, and not only because of that breadth of emotion, but the depths that I felt it. Like, Ancient Magus Bride is a slow burn, and that is not a bad thing by any means. It builds and builds and builds on itself.
No, Inuyashiki wants to get to your heart immediately.
And it
And
knows
it does
how.
it so well. Like, yeah, these are both amazing shows. These are both amazing at tugging at your heartstrings, but at least in my book, there is no comparison. It is Inuyashiki all the way.
And I'll totally, like, I'll 2v1 on that one. I'm not going to fight that hard. Ancient Magus Bride for me is just, as you can tell, it is the show that I married. And I think it had a very specific emotional resonance with me, which is why, like, again, Inuyashiki is, if I had to choose, like, actually, if I had to choose a show out of all three of these that is a standout that I would recommend people absolutely need to watch, it's Inuyashiki.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, Magus Bride had a better emotional resonance with me, so I'm like, I see Inuyashiki as this thing like, holy shit, that's incredible. But I'm going to go over here with the thing that, like, I want to settle down with.
Being with what personally resonates with you, that's
absolutely.
Totally. No one's going to fault you for that.
All right.
Guys, let's talk about the best worst show.
Ooh, that's a little tough.
What you got?
I got King's Game, and I got Black Clover. Is there anything else that needs to be on this list?
Okay, never mind. It's just King's Game.
It's kind of just King's Game.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like, here's the thing.
What other show is going to pull that from you from being absolute dog shit?
Dies Irae, maybe?
Like, maybe it could have. Who knows?
Dies Irae was too incomprehensible.
Yeah, there was no ground. King's Game was dumb enough that like anybody could follow this.
Yeah, with Dies Irae, I could never get a full grasp on what was happening, so it was not just bad, but it was also confusing.
Yes.
King's Game was not confusing. It was just bad. It was just terrible.
Well, it could be confusing too, but only if you still tried to keep up with the plot,
Yeah.
which past a certain point.
Yeah, it's confusing if you try and think about it logically, yes.
It's let me put it to you this way. It's confusing if you have to try and write a coherent plot summary of it.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell you what fucking what student dies, whoever did. Oh yeah, this rule you broke. I don't fucking care. Just see his head spin off.
But scene to scene, you could make sense. So,
I mean, ish. But King's Game.
King's Game, though, I'm so happy that we shared the best laugh with King's Game.
yep.
Yeah.
Like
100%. Well, okay, technically I ended up changing mine to Torso Boy.
that was my runner-up, so you know
Yeah.
what? I'll take
Yeah,
it.
but like, here's the thing. Like, I wanted that show to die so bad because its best, worst laugh out loud moments were just too few and far between for me. That said, like, some of these categories you go with what's most consistent, and some of it you go with the highest highs. And those highs were so high.
They really were.
Yeah, that I have no problem with declaring King's Game the best worst show. I don't think that was ever really a contest.
No,
Although, in rebuttal,
What you got?
Black Clover gave us one of the best memes of 2017.
Yeah, I mean, look, all respect to the bad bestness of
Asta's voice.
yeah.
Asta's voice is like the best, worst part of that show.
Can we just put Asta's voice as the thing? Just not Black Clover itself. Asta's voice is the best, worst anime.
Guys, the best worst show of fall 2017. King's Game, runner-up, Black Clover.
Asta's voice can have a metaphorical duel with Nobuaki's Messiah complex.
Now, we do have a category here that I didn't write down any nominees for. It's right there in the name of the category. I don't think there's a contest here. If one of you disagrees with me, like, we can have this conversation. I call it the King's Game Memorial Zombie Award for the show that lived past its time.
So I suspect that this award will be better suited to later seasons.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I think there might be future seasons where there is a conversation to be had about, which one really should have died sooner, which one.
And I like this.
I
like
love
this
that.
I like this pre-planning. I like it.
But I think it is good to take a moment to acknowledge that King's Game was on the wheel twice and lived twice.
So that's what I want to say. Because, like, this is just where I felt like something divine was happening. Because I'm like, you dodged the wheel twice. Clearly, Nobuaki, you're a survivor, man. I gotta keep you in.
Over here, I'm just a suffering atheist.
There must
Like,
be a
there's no
god
no-
because Nobuaki has defied death at so many turns. There must be a Satan, and therefore there must be a god.
Fucking from dusk till motherfucking dawn. Oh, okay. Oh, man.
Oh, King's Game.
Congrats, King's Game. You defied everything, and you won a place in my. I will always remember you.
Oh, I will too. Trust me. You and me, we're
Yeah.
gonna hold King's Game close forever.
Yeah, I will.
Look, there is that fuck that you and your periodic flare-ups will always remember.
The time she lit herself on fire and totally into it.
Oh.
I was sexually abused as a child. I don't feel pain.
Oh. Kids, always wear a condom, and remember that penicillin can cure all sorts of things these days.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about our best first date. Let's get positive here for a second.
Whew.
That best first impression, the best. It can be the best first episode. It can be the best first 3-ish episodes. We've got Inuyashiki. We've got Juni Taisen. We've got Ancient Magus Bride. We've got Recovery of an MMO Junkie. Is there anything else that should be on this list? Should we be talking about Garo? That did have a really cool first episode, I thought.
Actually, well, okay, remember, it's first date, and that was over the core of the 3 episodes that we had to watch to prepare. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's best first impression.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know? Like, I think there is some latitude there.
Well, I would definitely give it to the first couple episodes. Like, again, the reason that we want to do that is because you really get a feel for a show after it's, like, giving you the real premise, the whole, like, I think 3 episodes is a great way to be like, if you continue watching, you know what you're getting. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I put Ancient Magus Bride on this list. That 3rd episode was The Land of the Dragons. I think if we had not covered those first 3 episodes in our first week here, I think our outlook on that show might have been very different. Mm-hmm. That said, I'm not quite sure it hangs in this list just because those first 3, especially those first 2, were such a slow burn. I think we came away from those feeling more optimistic.
Yeah.
But I don't think optimism is the same as confidence.
No, if I had to go with confidence, I would wholeheartedly say that it's going to be a tie between MMO Junkie and Inuyashiki. Because those 2 just had standout Oh, like the first episode of Inuyashiki is good. The second episode of Inuyashiki is fucking amazing.
The second episode is breathtaking.
I will to give Juni Taisen its props before we move on. I don't think Yeah. Like I think
the first episode with I can't believe it because the first episode with the boar is so fucking like dark and the animation is so good. And there's just so much
really
going.
good,
There's so much going on in that first episode, and that set me up. It set me up because I was like, "Oh shit!" And then, like as we said, the developments that happened in those first 3 episodes, there's some really cool subversive stuff. And again, that subversion just ended up being bad storytelling.
Episode 3 ends with the rooster killing the dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I came away from episode 3 really liking that, if I remember correctly.
was that the third episode? I think that might have been the second episode.
First episode, the boar dies.
Yeah.
Second episode
was dog, I thought. And then third episode was...
Is it?
We've got our resident fact checker checking facts
But that
here.
was early on, though, right? The whole rooster dog thing was early.
Oh, yeah. It was...
Yeah.
The rooster dog thing was...
Because that
was
alone
at least-
was like, because I was poo-poo. I wasn't as big of a fan of the first episode. I liked the twist at the end that she died, but I thought the whole backstory thing was really lame.
Yeah.
But by that episode, we already seen like Monkey, and I'm like, yo, Monkey, what you got?
Yeah.
She seems cool.
Dude.
And the shit with Rooster, I'm like, holy hell, that's really neat.
Yeah, the stuff with Rooster was such a cool idea. And actually, to be completely honest with you, wow, man, I don't know why the writer decided that he was going to make all the most interesting characters, the ones that would die first.
Immediately because he has to hold this fucking gimmick. Piece of shit. Yeah, that, man, yeah, because I think in the first episode we did, I was so back and forth because the first episode, I know you liked it a lot. You liked it a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
But like the second episode, I was like, holy shit, yeah, awesome.
By the way, hold on.
Second episode is dog.
Third episode is
Rooster.
Rooster's backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
okay. Rooster's backstory and death. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those. Because her doing the fucking Professor Screw Eyes death was awesome. That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
All the fucking crows eating her. That was neat. I did like that, but I don't know.
Let's put a question mark next to that.
Question that shit.
And move on because we all agree that Inuyashiki came out of the gate strong. Let's talk about MMO Junkie.
What was the first 3 episodes?
Well, the first episode is her getting into Fruitamare and discovering her character and getting fucking grounded every time. And then she meets Lily. The second and third episode are them playing together. You get to meet the clerk at
and she goes to the gas station.
Yeah,
That's
I
her
can't
convenience store,
remember.
whatever.
We meet Sakurai in episode 3, I think.
Is he episode 3?
I am checking that episode guide real quick.
Yeah,
I can't remember if he's introduced like later than that.
I'm
Because
pretty
I feel like it was.
Koiwai is in the third episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yes. Okay.
Yeah, Sakurai was in the second episode.
Oh,
Okay.
well then shit. Okay,
Yeah, that's when they go to the hospital and all that
Oh,
stuff.
shit, is that the
Oh, that's-
second episode?
Oh
Way
my
to
god,
go.
that's so early. Shit.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, no, that shit was great.
See, that's the thing. Looking back at it in hindsight, it's like, yeah, that was awesome. But I remember at the time thinking, boy, this love interest looks like designed by committee to be a love interest. I don't know. Like the complexity in that character that endeared me to him didn't come until later.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
well,
which is
understand that.
Yeah, which is fine, but yeah, I remember coming off of that third episode thinking like, well, this is better than I thought it was going to be because I thought it might be terrible, but so far this is really just enjoyable fluff.
Yes, it was the feel-good fluff. And I didn't think there was anything deeper to it at that point. I was like, yeah, I'm going to tune in and whatever, it's going to be fun.
Actually, yeah.
I do agree.
You know
Yeah,
what?
you mentioned that.
Going back to that, yeah, I did think it was rather fluffy, which I was okay with because I was like,
Yeah.
at least it's good fluff.
I think all of us were fine with that, but
Yeah.
the things that I think really endeared me weren't until later.
Yeah, it didn't come until, and not much later, but you
No,
know.
it was the date. really. Just once they have the date night.
Yeah, well,
She
that
gets out. That's like episode 5?
6.
6, yeah.
Although, to be fair, once Koi did get introduced, not to, again, crank his horn for too much, Koi involvement really does kind of help elevate things a little bit because you see his friendship with Sakurai, and it's a great back and forth. Like
It is.
Their friendship is one of the key selling points for the show for me early on because it's a great dynamic and the way it evolves throughout is so good. Because Koi keeps challenging Sakurai, and Sakurai's like, "Fuck it, I'll do it," and it's always for his benefit.
Overall, I agree. I'm not sure how apparent that was in that first conversation, which is all we really got from him in that third episode.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I think I remember being under the impression he was actually trying to be the third point in the love triangle.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's going to be really dumb if they do that. I hope they don't.
I was so goddamn happy that they never did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like the entire time. I was like, oh God, please don't actually be a ploy.
Yeah. So like at that point, I still was a little wishy-washy, I'd say. Whereas, I don't know, compared to like Inuyashiki by episode 2, I'm like, what? You can't fuck this up. Let's go.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Inuyashiki wins this category.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think it's.
yeah,
I think it
yeah.
easily wins.
But,
That second episode's fucking crazy.
yeah. But,
And then the third episode is so heart-wrenching.
is that the dude in the bathtub with his son?
No, that's the
No,
second.
that's the
that
second.
is the
That's the
second.
second.
Okay,
Second's all
yeah.
about Hero.
Yeah, I know. The third
That's
one,
right.
I can't wait. Is the
Third one's about Ando,
Third one's about Ando.
isn't it? No, third one's about Ando.
Second one's about Ando. Second one is
Second one's about Hero.
No, second one is about Ando and Hero. I thought.
I'm going off the episode titles. look at this. We're arguing what's the best. We don't even remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
God,
that's the thing. Trying to think here in this final
Yeah.
week, trying to think back to the first week we did this.
Going off the episode titles,
Uh-huh.
the first one's name is Inuyashiki.
Yeah, Inuyashiki's at number 1.
Hero.
Yeah, Hero is the subject of 2. Yeah, and then Ando.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
no,
it is
you're
the
right.
title. That's right.
You're right. Episode 2 is Boy in the Bathtub, and that episode ends with bang. Oh wait, why
And then
aren't
he
you
gets up,
dead?
yes.
Yeah, and then the
Right.
third episode begins with
Inuyashiki and Ando kind of going like, "Hey, I know that guy."
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Okay.
I thought so.
Um.
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah.
It's Ando just figuring out stuff.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. By the end
Yeah,
of
Episode 3 is just that's Astro Boy theme. Like Inuyashiki still just like rescuing randos, but that's Hiro and Ando like establishing their friendship and Hiro showing off his powers and all that stuff.
Okay. Is that the episode with the Yakuza?
No,
No,
that's
that's
four.
episode 4. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, no, 3 is where Hero's fucking gunning down birds and like, hey, want to see what else I can do?
Yeah.
And he fucks up all the cars and
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I think the first 4 episodes of that show are just remarkable.
They're, I wouldn't change a damn thing.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, so that's. But I don't know. I think this might be Inuyashiki Juni Taisen.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you know what? I am also okay with that.
Because at that moment, I was optimistic. And
Yeah.
then Monkey died, like right
Yeah.
after that. I was like, okay,
oh,
fuck
dude,
it.
the moment I saw Monkey die, I'm like, well, and that's the last of them.
You could see the moment my heart breaks.
Yeah, and even at that time, like even knowing what the structure was and that they were killing off a focus character each episode, I was still like, well, yeah, but you're not going to kill off Monkey though. She's the most interesting character, and you've got nothing without her. And then, nope, totally dead. Not a fake out.
Like the long game with Rat was so interesting because at the end I was like, okay, that's actually a really cool power, and this whole concept's really interesting.
But it sounds like they dropped the ball at the end still.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did.
Wishing for I want to know. That's so dumb. That's so Bleach.
Best first date.
I'm glad you had the heart to say it.
Congratulations, Inuyashiki. Yes. Congratulations to our runner-up, Juni Taisen.
Hell yeah.